Hello guys, now we're about to take off. There you can see your roof, and there's the guttering. The little bit of lead there is probably just in between your two roofs as they meet and run into the gutter. Everything's looking good really, considering the age. Nothing's amiss yet. All the tiles are in place, just the slate imperfections of what slates are. The bit I've circled there is just the, I don't know, aging timber. Could you say rotting wood? I don't know. It's just obviously very difficult to get to if you needed to do that again. All looking good here, apart from one slipped slate there. That slipped from higher up in the roof. I think you can see that when we get a bit further on. The other arrow that appeared on the left was just to show that the stepped lead work and your soakers, as you call them, they all look quite intact really. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad for the age down the left hand side there. Those little clips that you can see near them arrows, that arrow there was to show where the slate had slipped from actually, but the little bits of like shiny bits of metal you can see there are little clips that someone's put in to hold back new slates when they've been replaced in the past. So that's evidence that people have been up there and done some repair work before. Because the nature of slates, it's very difficult to slide one in and nail it, because they're nailed underneath the next one. So the only really way to do it is put them little clips in. They should be done with little copper straps generally, but not everybody does that. Yeah, all looking good up the left hand side of the dormer. The slates look a little bit hiddly-piddly, but dare I say it, they were probably installed a little bit like that. There was a little bit of silicon due there, I could see, probably due to another fix. So people have definitely been up there and done some odd fixes over time. There's a better look at the dormer cheeks and the paintwork. The small dormer roof actually doesn't look bad at all. It seems to have collected a lot of moss, bizarrely, over the other roofs, but it all looks okay, really. Again, considering the age, because I don't imagine that that's ever been touched since it was new, all them years ago. And again, you could make this perfect, you could have a lot more work done on it, but yeah, if it doesn't leak, and it looks like it does now after all these years, it's probably going to stay like this for another big chunk of years. Now you can see, I'm surprised I haven't drawn an arrow to it, but one's probably due any minute. Yeah, that's a vent tile. I don't know, unless you have a bathroom upstairs or they're just ventilating the roof, but that looks like it's slipped. They're not actually made of slate, it's a plastic composite thing that you buy and slide in, but that one looks like it's slipped. Another repaired tile slate down there. There's a little bit of one on the left hand side there that looks like it had a bit of a crack in it, but not looking too bad. The lead valley's looking fine. And yeah, again, apart from all the moss build up, it's which I don't think is really doing any harm really, it's not looking too bad. And the finial there at the front, considering all that's made out of timber, it's lasted a long time, because again, I believe it would have been there from new, which is quite a long time ago. This is your neighbour's wall. Obviously I was just showing the stepped lead and the soakers, I guess, and the pointing in there, brickwork, all looks again fine for the age. There's your television aerial wire running right down the roof. They're always a little bit of a strange thing. There's the slipped vent tile again. Looks like there's a bit of a broken slate to the left of it too. But the nature of the way that slates are overlapped, a breakage like that could leak a little bit. I don't know, but if it is leaking, you would see signs internally. So if you haven't seen anything internally, there's another slipped slate and a cracked one above it with a bit missing. think I'm about to go up to the chimney. Now, from memory, it doesn't look too bad up there, really. I mean, it does look like work's definitely been done, because the chimney pots probably would have been on every one. But it looks like you've had wood burning flues installed, potentially. I think the only thing to note there is it's not a capped chimney. If you still do use that middle one as a fireplace, then that's fine. But if you never do and it's blocked off, that's something that could be done. You can cap off the chimneys. I mean, considering the age and the height of this, because this is very high and very difficult to get to. Obviously, yeah, there's pointing to do. It's how far do you go? If you're not seeing any leaks, then it's probably all okay. But I mean, the one thing to note is that even if this did leak, I don't think you guys would see it. It's very much on the neighbour's house walls that they would potentially see water ingress through there, but it would sort of trickle into the chimneys, and they're sort of designed to have that happen, really, because they are just a big hole in the top of a house generally. Now I'm flying down to, this is your neighbour's house actually, and that Velux, that was very confusing, whatever's going on there. I wondered if it was a slate removal tool that had been left in. Obviously quite a lot of bodgy work going on there with silicon sealant. What that did actually transpire to be, when I got a different angle on it, it looks like an overflow or a waste pipe from a toilet or something, but I don't imagine it's a toilet, so maybe their boiler's in there and it's the overflow for the boiler. Very strange that someone's done that. That was just to highlight that a couple of twigs up there is nothing. The little clip again was one of them to hold up new slates that have been fixed after one's broken. It does look like your neighbour's had a few bodgy repairs done actually with silicon. It does stand out quite a bit. Just at the bottom of the screen there you can see another slipped slate. I can show it on a different part of the video, but that's something else that's happened. Your gutters seem fairly clean, really, considering. It's not like you go up there and clean them out, is it? Because it's so high. Looks like a bit of pointing in there, maybe there on moss. And here's another couple of slipped slates. Just to the left hand side you can see one that's sort of slipped sideways. I think that's the smaller bit on the bottom. There's like half a slate that's snapped off. Slightly higher up on a different part of the video later on, just above that arrow, you can see where the other one slipped from. I just thought I'd give you a bit of a look over the top of the dormer, because it's a very trapped little area, this. It's a funny little detail, because it runs straight into the neighbour's wall. Again, they must not see any signs of damp, I'm sure. They would have mentioned it, the lead work down there must be doing its job. A bit of a collection of dirt, but I think that's a very difficult area to get rid of water. The lead work must have run to the front and run out, or else a lot of water would get trapped in there, which is quite strange. So it definitely can't build up, it must run out fine if you're not seeing any water ingress in the house. Just showing the fascia boards and the rear window of the rear bedroom. It's not part of a roofing issue, but I suppose the access to get up there and redecorate those is, if that was ever something you needed to consider. Windows are on your radar, aren't they? And again, at just the bottom there you can see a slipped slate. I have a slightly cracked one to the left hand side of the Velux. Yeah, I'm showing that cracked one there. Now this side of your roof, it really doesn't seem too bad. It gives the impression that that glass slate that's in there, you must be able to, I'm assuming a toilet in there. It has the impression that it's slipped, but I think it's just the physical size of it. If you're not seeing any water entering the house there, then it must all be fine. You can see your gutters are pretty clean again, considering. That's the vent pipe for your toilet and your drainage. All the stepped lead looks fine down this side too. Yeah, this side of the roof's fairly in good condition. Again, considering the age, it may have been redone, may not. I don't know. The age of the houses, it's so hard to tell, because even a repair could have been done 100 years ago and that wouldn't be new. I'm just showing the top of your rear chimney stack now. Obviously you must share it with your neighbour. Yours is just this one on this side, pointing, and the mortar is cracking a little bit. You tend to not see it unless you've got a chimney breast where you've got a room directly next to it, like in dormer loft conversions. You tend to not see the water ingress through cracks and things in chimneys. I mean, it's not good health for the bricks because it does cause them to freeze and thaw and crack and things, but by the time it's got down to any point where it's in your house, it tends to have just soaked into the brickwork and act like they were always supposed to all them years ago when they were built. I think I got distracted now because I think he came out the front. That's why it slowed down. But again, this roof here, I don't think I could see anything wrong with it. It seems like the lower the roofs get on this property, the less there is wrong with it. Sod's law. I guess you'd want all the issues to just be down at this level because it's quite accessible, really. But yeah, all looking good. Might have had one repair maybe just at the bottom now. I think I can see a little clip that someone's put in to hold the slate back potentially, but pointing are looking good. Slight bit of moss build up. Nothing to be concerned about, really. You're right to be thinking about all this though, because, and it is possible, I mean everybody does it, it's not like it's unheard of, but putting scaffolding on top of slates, especially older slates, can be quite tricky. I mean, they put planks of wood on to seat the legs, but they can be quite brittle. They've got incredible impaction resistance, that's why we use them to pack slates, but they don't hold very well if you put a lot of weight halfway through one. I think I was just showing you the pointing on the edge, like the verge. Looking a little bit tired, but nothing too bad. It's just 99% of houses around your area will all look like this. It's not a design we tend to do these days, where you stop the slates pretty much flush with the edge of the brickwork. It doesn't leave much for an overhang. I prefer a bit of an overhang, really, just to keep the water away. Gutters clear again. Must have good water flow, they must have a good angle on them. I think it's this part of the video now where you can see the strangeness of this pipe sticking out of your neighbour's roof. It does look like a plumber's handiwork, potentially, for an overflow. Now you can see the slip slate at the bottom, a bit of a cracked tile at the bottom of the Velux. The thing is with all these cracked or slipped slates, again, what you see of a slate's actually twice as big as that, and they go right up, and if you imagine the nature of how the water flows down them, the gravity's always coming down, and it's amazing what water doesn't get in. It tends to be just in very strong winds where rain could get blown upwards, where you would see water getting in. I think just on this it shows that the dormer roof's pretty good. Slight bit of pointing missing, I think, yeah, I put an arrow to it. And again, showing the fascia decoration, it's so high up you probably can't even make that out when you're down at the ground level. It's quite easy to see this broken slate now, isn't it? And just to the right hand side now where that arrow is where the other one slipped from. Another one of them clips at the bottom for fixed slates. To show you a different perspective of the roof, I suppose. Feels quite magical being this high up, doesn't it? It'd be nice if you could sit on top of the drone, although it'd be terrifying. Now this is your neighbour's dormer, I just did it as a bit of a fly around, there's a slip slate there. Again, that dreaded TV aerial wire. No one ever really knows what to do with them. Again, you can see all these slightly bodgy fixes. I do think it looks a little bit like lead sealant they've used. It stands out a bit, but I do think some roof repairers get away with murder at this height, because the whole reason why you're having this drone survey done, because you just can't see it. When are you ever this high? I think you would be crazy to climb out of a dormer window and walk up this roof. Not much to report here. I mean, this is your neighbour's house. They've obviously got a tree growing in the gutter there at the bottom. Some debris in there. I should have mentioned the brick bond really well. It was a bit boring. It's quite interesting to see the old way they did brickwork. I do love all these old houses. They're quite large bricks really on the left hand side there. But you can see every few rows they put like the end of a brick in. They have lots of different names for all these different bonds, Flemish bonds and all sorts of names. Back to where we started really here. Just tried to be as in-depth as I could. It's an extremely dull video, isn't it? 20 minutes nearly of this, but you would never get this kind of aspect again, and it was a little bit windy. I tried getting as close as I could to things, but it is a fairly high quality video, so I guess you can pause this and zoom in however you like. I thought I'd give you a little vista of the city to finish and see what these pigeons get to see. It's incredible. There he is. I always try and do a little bit of a glimpse of the Minster, see if we can see it. Yeah, there she is. What an amazing view. I do often think when we're working on roofs, it's a nice place to be when you're working on some of them flat roofed dormers. I'll build a couple of them.